we'll call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Had to work last week, Phyllis, you weren't here.
Sorry.
It's okay.
He didn't break a sweat, Phyllis, don't worry about it.
I paid attention.
We have 4 checks. Jessica Amaro, 9509, Jason Gagnon, 30911, Alex Marcoux, 32264, and Kristen Patch, 48252.
Thank you. I guess I should
Yes, sir.
get my chapstick ready here. I learned my lesson last time.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Mask coming down so I can read. Eleanor Cherry, $1,189.49. Andrea Bickham, $606.46. Joseph Bird, $923.64. Katie Blazik Ahern is $787.92. Kendra Brackett's $547.97. Gloria Bendia Becerra is $353.75. Karen Clements, $1,064.98.
Okay.
Jeffrey Collins is $739.57. Katie Coppola is $124.67. Keith Culligan is $399.54. Lissa Sanuski is $158.99. Michael Dame is $688.59. Kiki Donis Walls $225.33. Robert Gagnon is $317.92. Warren Graham is $90.54. Andrew Gray is $448.79. Alexander Hall is $189.60. Mary Lyons Hall is $121.91. Alexander Hidosi is $188.77. Kip Kaiser is $773.01. Joyce Keegles $517.14. Kevin Nealand is $1,081.93. Heather Lindsay is $612.24. Robert McCon is $294.76. Brendan Messina is $401.44. Sarah Parkhurst is $395.53. Jeremy Potter $690.84. Brian Rains is $369.33. Wayne Robinson is $918.04. Steven Sorza is $1,290.27. Christopher Spitaleri is $1,320.39. Sophia Streck is $27.70. Charlotte Sullivan is $13.85. Katrina Tennis $536.30. Josh Turner is $111.70. Olivia Wall is $126.18. Daniel Wicks is $1609.41. Janice Weir is $76663. Jeremy Worcester is $462.80. Daphne Wass is $687.07. Jared Wright Ward is $794.56.
For a total of $22,968.55.
Combined total of $24,177.91. P8 had 51 3/4 of an hour overtime. Highway had 12.5.
Why is there so much overtime in the PD?
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had one officer had guard training, so there was shift coverage, and then they did training. 5.5 hours each.
We had payment to Swayze, $205,000.
Ooh. This is the wrong profession. This is being educated.
We worked for Uncle Sam for a long time. You used to take
You're still getting a pension there, dude.
He took advantage of his company on that.
He's still getting his pension.
Yeah.
Ready?
Go.
Airgas USA, $67.50. Block 5 is $358.64. Boundary Medical is $143.88. Jason Barassa is $1,250. Casella Waste is $41,937.45. Chapel Tractor is $44.20. Citizens Bank is $1,784.57. Eversource is $214.43. First Light is $235.34. Great American Finance Corp. is $317.09. Hartman Oils, $2,322.03. Leaf is $124. Mitchell Municipal is $326.70. Morton Salt's $10,379.39. Treasurer, State of New Hampshire is $106. Northeast Electric Distributors, $32.38. Portsmouth Chevrolet is $270. Seacoast Emergency Response Teams, $3,750. Tech TEC Inc. is $300 even. Title Communication is $1,464. Valak is $246.45. WB Mason's $271.34. Jared Wright Ward is $47.04.
For a total of $65,992.43.
And if you add that with the school, it comes to $270,992.43.
We're not broke yet. Close.
We have a rec deposit and 2 checks.
Any word when we change over to TD?
April 1st is the target date.
Okay.
We are ahead of the game, and you should already have your treasurer's report in front of you.
See, thank you. No.
Seriously.
We're good.
Lots of deposits.
I think we got it right.
Floor is yours.
Okay. Weekly Treasurer's Report, 2/16 of 2021. Previous balance, $13,421.17. Deposits, $42,242.61. Payroll was $24,177.91. Payroll tax, $5,935.16. The AP is $270,992.43. With an ACH payment to Swayze for $205,000. We transferred from the money market account $260,000. The account balance is the general fund, and it's $14,558.28. Year-to-date interest is $1.63. Our unrestricted balance is $5,280,852.76. The interest earned year-to-date is $554.36.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you.
You have a couple more things up here.
Okay,
I make a motion for the minute.
Second.
Motion by Bob, second by Ken. All in favor, Bill? Ken?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
I
Phyllis?
wasn't here, so I'll see.
And I'm an aye. So Phyllis is gonna abstain and 4 ayes.
I make a motion for non-public.
Second.
Motion second. Bill?
Aye.
Ken?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Phyllis
Abstain.
abstains and I'm an aye. Kip, long time no see.
Yes.
How you doing?
You gonna read her?
Building permits, Steve Johnson, 30 Robinson Street. Plumbing and electrical permit for kitchen remodel. Wright Builders, 8 Mill Road, new dwelling. Wright Builders, 402 South Road, new dwelling. Mark Gagnon, 396 Middle Road, demo permit for shed. Thomas McCutcheon, 14 Three Ponds Drive, finished basement. Fred DeButts, 44 Eleanor's Way, finished attic. Robert Lang, 2 Cager Street, add 11-foot addition on rear of home. And Nancy Pales, 26 Crawley Falls Road, rough and finished plumbing for 2nd floor bathroom.
times to slow it down a little this week.
Well, they sold everything.
That could explain it.
There's only a few electrical and plumbing permits left.
For the whole thing?
I thought he was gonna go.
I thought he was expanding more, no?
Well, I don't have that paperwork yet, so. I'm not
Oh.
doing any permits.
A total of 116 units,
Really?
phase 1 and 2.
In the Brentwood side or the?
No, Brentwood, and as far as I know, they have no plans on developing in Epping at this time.
Well, I saw looked like they were clearing off some more land in the back.
Well, they have to put up 2 septic systems, or whatever they call those things, in addition to the one they already have.
Glad I don't live there.
Huh?
I'm glad I don't live there.
I can't afford to live there.
And there's 3 items in your packets for Kip.
I make a motion for the 925.
Well, we talked about the items in the packet before we motion anything.
Oh, it's for a door. I'm good.
Maybe everybody else isn't.
Ah, but I had time to look at it. You
Oh.
wanted a fast meeting, I'm giving you one.
Oh, okay.
Slow down, I'm getting dizzy.
Well, that's not hard to do.
Okay, well, you're looking at the door.
Yeah.
We have a door in the basement, brand new in the package. It is an outswing door, it has an accessible threshold. It is a 6-panel exterior door, and it's the opposite swing from what's on there now. Shouldn't make any difference, and so all we got is the cost to take the old one out and put the new one in. It's all new jamb, door, so on. Reuse the hardware.
Steel door?
Actually fiberglass.
What about the other side? Is the other side still good or?
That door doesn't get used, it shouldn't get used, it sits this high up off the floor. So that's, the one I'm talking about is the one that's,
That's just
the
illegal.
metal's peeling off, it's dangerous and
And disposal.
needs to get replaced, that one.
Motion by Bob, anybody want to second the 925? Ken wants to second it. Bill?
Aye.
Ken?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Phyllis?
Aye.
Just to take another couple of Durfee building maintenance.
Sure. And I'm an aye.
I think next you have the Patriot proposal.
Yes.
So back in 2017 approximately, the board voted to approve approximately $10,000 for software. We investigated, found the company couldn't meet the requirements that we had when we finally got down to the signing. So we canned it, and then COVID came along. This company has quoted us 3 times. It seems to have met all our needs. And you can see there's one-time fees and then there's annual fees. And part of this package will be all the building permits. And there's an option in here to include all the fire permits as well. So that all these jobs will be accessible to myself, the fire department, and the public to find out if permits were pulled, and unite all of that.
Where'd the 10 grand go? Back to the general fund or?
We've never used it, so it's in the impact fees. So with the original vote was to pay for this project out of impact fees. So there's still funds in that account to pay for this.
I'll make a motion that we approve the $11,995.
Will this automatically import into the tax card and?
Yes, so it does a nightly upload so that we can view it on the screens.
Motion?
Second.
Second.
Well, so all the other departments will feed into this, like fire permits?
Right, if we decide if they want to do it along with us, the system will be built for that to happen, and it's priced for that right now.
Okay, well, will we have to provide hardware, software for the departments to feed into this as well?
The only other department would be fire.
Right,
their
and,
inspection.
and so this will be all, web-based, so they won't have to have any equipment to do this with.
So just, here's a permit.
Now, is it gonna give you guys notification or feeders out to the fire department if you have something that triggers them to do an inspection or vice versa?
The total system should react or respond to the appropriate authority for inspections.
I remember when we discussed this way back when,
Yeah, we thought it was a good idea.
and the fire department will join us because we'll tell them to join us. It's very simple.
You have a motion and a second.
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Ken,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Phyllis,
Aye.
and I'm an aye.
Last, yes,
Do you have a copy for us to sign, or?
It's on there.
for the Patriot system,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's on the
Is it on
back.
the last page?
It's on
Yeah,
the
but I
last
don't know if
page.
there's an original
I,
copy.
Karen?
I'll make a motion, and we allow Karen to sign the,
Second.
contract.
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Ken,
Aye.
Phyllis.
Kip, you did a nice job on the last one. I tried to do this a couple of weeks ago and got blown out of the water. Thank you.
For which one?
The business inspection form.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, see, I'm not for this.
The, yes, this permit, basically, I looked around at other towns and put down some ideas on a page, and Sarah helped me out with some formatting. And I think it covers the fire department, code enforcement, will help the PD as well. Other towns have these, they're all different prices, there's some towns that are $200, some are $100, some are whatever. I'm suggesting a fee of $100 for this. This will work for home occupancies as well as larger commercial businesses. One form should fit all.
Phyllis, you gotta read section 302, classification, and what it does. If you'll turn one more page, you'll see it.
So hopefully, like, we have buildings and businesses in town that house various hazardous materials that we don't know, in theory, that we don't know that are even there. It's also a safety thing for, whether it be myself or the fire department, when they come upon a business. If people will report what they're doing, the buildings can be set up safely so they can run the business and everyone will know what's there and stay away if needed.
And I'm just gonna put out there, I probably wouldn't have been for this, but now I am. I recently had a claim where they were supposed to be doing one type of business and they actually migrated to a different type of business and never told anybody or pulled the permit, and they ended up having a fire. When the fire department responded and they added water to it, the materials that they were using exploded.
Simply because nobody knew what was in it.
They didn't have an idea what they were going into to put water on. So when they put the water on it, it had a chemical reaction, it exploded. So to me, it's just kind of a way to make sure that you have a check and balance. So for me, I would make a motion for it.
Well, that's the intent of the permit.
I-
Currently, the planning board has at least 5 or 6 different cases where the site plans have been altered so bad that it's not recognizable as what the business is. So,
My
that was
question-
one of the reasons it was put together.
Go ahead, Phyllis.
Well, I'm for the permit, I'm not for the fee. I just think the town charges enough for a building permit. I'm not for the fee.
Okay.
I can see having a permit, but I'm not for the fee.
My question would be, can Patriot be tied into this, that the occupancy permits are generated from Patriot, that,
Can Patriot be tied into this?
yeah, we're trying to go get away from the paper permit, so
Oh,
it would be
sure.
nice if
I don't see any reason why that
you could do everything.
would be an issue at all.
It would just make more sense that we could just
Sure.
dump it in there, and then that would update to the tax card of what's actually going on there, as well as everything else.
I'll second Bob's motion.
I have a question about what are we doing with people who are already When we grandfather people in, or how are we gonna handle that?
No, as it comes to the attention of the planning board, they are sent a letter asking to revisit the site plan, come in and alter it or make a new site plan.
And then we're charging them $100 to do this?
We haven't, this is not in effect yet, so. I'm sure.
Going forward, is that the plan? Is that-
Probably, yeah.
It'll work for both, new business certainly going forward.
Right,
You're not gonna get everybody that's gonna sign up that's existing, but, you know, in theory, we're supposed to get out there and be checking all these businesses. Unfortunately, the ones that have not signed up, that we don't even know about, don't get checked, but eventually it'll all catch up, and everybody will be pretty much on the same page, well, you know, within reason. Should be a fairer plan.
And, I mean, for me, if I didn't recently have that claim, I would've been like, but now, I mean, send one firefighter to the hospital, it'll cost us a lot more than $100.
Yeah.
so you're
So-
okay with the fee?
Can I
Yes,
amend
I'm-
your, can you, so I would say $100 for a new business or a site plan change. Existing businesses, we want to fill out the form and register. If they do not do so within 6 months, we fine them $100, otherwise
How
it's
can,
free.
how can you do that? I don't think you can do that.
Well, you have to let people know that this exists. I'm okay with that, and that's.
I mean, that's a way to get people to register and, so we,
And don't charge them anything,
Well,
right,
yeah.
I would give a year versus 6 months.
okay.
I would, first of all, I would check with the planning board, because really now what we're doing is encroaching their authority.
Well, I think the whole thing is approaching their authority, but.
No, they're suggesting this more.
The, that tie into the planning board and the fine and all that, could be, I mean, I see this as much as the code enforcement end, at this point. And for management, so as far as tying it into a site plan, I wouldn't necessarily say that you do that, although going forward, it'll end up automatically being just like a occupancy permit for a house.
I think if we're talking life safety, everybody should do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no question, absolutely.
And then we should have the reason why for the fine is, should be a motivator for everybody to do it.
So
So
are
a
we
site plan
expect-
costs a lot more than $100.
Are we expecting all the homeowners in town to fill out one of these forms?
Nope.
These are businesses.
Just businesses? Okay. Because there's a section here that says
Well,
residential.
now, there are homeowners that have businesses in their homes.
So that would be the R 1, 2, and 3, and 4, if you have a business out of your house.
Oh, you're looking at the section 302?
Yeah,
Basically, I put that on there, so this is ICC, it's one of the state codes. And basically, it kind of explains to people that if you're, let's say, a larger commercial group, and you have a building, you can have mixed use, you can have separated mixed use, open mixed use. Different buildings have different fire ratings, hazard ratings, so on and so forth. So it's just, it's a way to help inform people how much more they can do, or where they are gonna be restricted. That's just kind of a guide.
yeah.
I don't know,
I'm good with a year, not charging anybody that's already in place, and going forward $100 for.
We probably should have some type of ordinance that lays out,
That's what I think. I think encroaching on the planning board might not be the right approach, but I think the ordinance would affect everybody who owns a business in town.
yes.
This basically is going forward for new businesses.
Well, I think we need to address both. I think we need to address both.
Yeah, we
existing
just talked
businesses.
about that by the ordinance.
So we're gonna create a new ordinance?
I think that's a great idea.
And we can do that until, because I think you have to put, an ordinance would have to go on the ballot, right?
Yes.
Yes,
So therefore, it'd have to go at least a year
yep.
Yeah.
until the next,
So
until the
we-
next town
We
meeting.
couldn't, we shouldn't technically create an ordinance till after town meeting.
Yeah.
So why don't we, I'll make a
Table
motion
this
to,
until after town meeting?
yeah, we can do that.
No.
No.
Let's go forward with the document now. The ordinance is something
We
that
can
comes.
address that.
Yeah.
Well,
in
you need
April.
something to,
Can't just say we're gonna do
you
this.
need something
Oh,
to.
yes, we can.
Well, I don't think we should.
you need something to require the document to be filled out.
You need some teeth to it.
I mean, we can say you have to fill it out, but unless it's in the zoning or a town ordinance, they don't have to do it.
Okay.
Or if it's part of their site plan,
Well,
right, Kip?
Well, if it's part of the site plan, then certainly they have to do it. We can read through the zoning and the reason for occupancy permits in general. This is just another type of one. You may already be there, you may already have it. I've looked through the property files over the past years. I find business occupancy permits in the files. It's something that used to be on the books, it just dropped away, I guess. But I find this not much different than occupancy permit for residences. It's just, it's a form, as much as when you open a new business and the fire department goes in and inspects it before I give the occupancy. You know, it's a check sheet.
I'm just worried about having something that makes it so that we can require to do this. I've been watching a lot of videos of somebody that's going around the state of New Hampshire challenging the right to know. And I can make a rule that you can't come in this room, but technically it's a public building and you can come in this room as long as there's no ordinance or law that says you can't come in this room during non-meeting hours. So I just want to make sure that we,
Cover our bases.
yeah, have a reason that we can have teeth to this rather than requiring somebody to pay us $100 and.
I think we
But
could
I
wait a
agree that
couple-
we need to do it.
I think we could wait a couple of weeks and,
But if you can find something
Unless-
that's,
yeah,
it's
unless
in the
it-
building code already for a business ordinance,
have at it.
I have no
We'll
problem.
see what we can find.
Okay. So let's hold up on this for a week and see where we are. If you find something.
You understand what I'm saying, right, Kev?
Yes.
That's,
Okay, so I'll
You're not in
make a
defeat.
motion, I'll withdraw my motion
You're
at
not
this
in
point.
defeat.
I'll withdraw my motion at this time.
and my second.
Okay.
You know, nice this is gonna work.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
This is
sir.
a nice
Kip.
forum.
I don't believe that.
While you're talking, Ken, let's talk recycling.
Oh, yeah.
Because we forgot about that.
That was last week. You missed, I'm glad you're back for that.
Oh, really?
Well,
We missed it last week.
there has been a change in recycling attitude across the nation. Currently, cardboard is selling at $15 a ton, and it appears to be increasing. Second product is plastic number 1, which is clear plastic, and it's going well. The other products are slightly above zero, but the plastic and the cardboard are probably at the 20 to 25% range. So recycling, our conversations may have been a little premature.
So now they're,
There's been a shift.
so now they'll take that stuff and it's not gonna cost us that much to send it back to the
No,
waste thing.
it's being separated as we speak.
Okay, cool.
So Casella had posted something, well, a resident had found something from Casella that they would always find a buyer for recycling rather than send it to the landfill. So
Well,
that was
that
that was a
might-
little different than what they had told us previously, but
Yeah, that might be a claim that they can't really honor, but there has been a switch, and I got these figures from Waste Management. Peter
Peter LaChapelle.
LaChapelle did the research, and of course, they are big into recycling, that particular company, so. But I think, like I said, I believe that our idea of discontinuing recycling was probably a bit premature. Thank you.
So what you're suggesting is plastic and cardboard at least,
Well, no, everything.
everything.
What I'm saying is, those are the two items that are selling at a higher
percentage.
rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was getting ready to throw things, just throw things,
No, it's still worthy to,
just try and
the
recycle.
plastic things is a little flaky. It's only number 1, and those are the clear bottles.
I thought you said number 2 plastic also.
No, number
No,
1.
number one.
Number 2 is selling, but number 1 is at a much higher rate.
Okay, okay. And as I suggested before, the recycling program is more than just a dollar and cents issue for a lot of people. It's
Oh,
an environmental issue, it's a climate issue, so.
And I suspect that if we
So if we
attempted,
can find a way to make it less expensive for everybody, that would probably be the way to go.
yeah, well, I don't think we're gonna get rich, but we might
No, but-
eventually level it out.
Even it out, yeah.
Well, I don't think our conversation was about environmental, our conversation was, if
Yeah,
they're going
it's-
to, if
it's
it's
a lot
going
of
to
money.
landfill anyways, why are we?
spending
Exactly.
extra money?
We're paying extra in fuel costs, but
But
that one,
if it's not going to the landfill, then
we're good.
that makes sense.
No, it's-
And if Casella is willing to, you know, march forward, I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Good deal.
Notes, our first round of police chief candidates will be on the 22nd.
Not
I
doing the,
intend
not
to
doing the
attend.
23rd, or no?
Huh?
They're not gonna need the 23rd?
It looks like they're all scheduled for one day, right?
8 interviews for the 22nd.
Alright, cool. I took time off, so I'm good.
Intent to cut?
This is a supplemental for the Burt property on South Road.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Bob, Ken,
Alright.
Aye.
Bill, Phyllis, we're all good.
I was contacted, since it looks like we're done with notes.
No.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was contacted by, someone in town that asked if we could, because there's, I guess, some issues going on with, still with the polling and the elections and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
If we could save the memory card, if I remember correctly, they call it, in the machine,
From the machines, yeah.
because the new election's coming up, they will be overwritten with whatever,
No, it goes, that
so I
goes
didn't know how
back
that
to
worked.
LHS, so I don't think you have any control over that.
Does it go back to the company?
It
They-
goes back to LHS, so
the-
they can
So
reprogram.
where's the memory cards? Cause I was asked
we
if
can't-
they could save the memory cards.
We can't
They
keep
got a
that memory
printout.
card in.
I know they have a printout, but they wanted the
The
memory
memory card
card.
goes
I don't,
back
I
to the
don't,
company.
I don't,
Did they already
They're
send
not
it back then?
I don't,
I would hope so.
it's
'cause
probably
that's
already
being
gone
reprogrammed.
back.
Well, yeah, because we got an election going on.
Yeah.
It's
So,
probably already gone
That was
back to
reached out to me,
LHS.
Is
so I
there
kinda
some way to
was like,
find out if it's already gone back?
It's probably already gone back. Good.
Either way, we can't keep it.
I just didn't know how that worked, so they asked me.
Well, if it hasn't gone back, we could request that they put a new card in and we keep that one separate. We could do
I
that.
don't,
This is what my inquiry was, the same thing about the ballots, where are they going and who's keeping them?
I think
You
the
have to
ballots
keep-
stay here, but then, or
Yeah,
maybe they go to
sealed.
Concord.
Yeah,
They
they're
stay
here
here.
and sealed, well,
you have to keep the ballots for like 22 months, which is ludicrous.
That's
For
the federal.
The federal, yeah.
Local goes only 2 months, right?
Right, local is, yeah,
Do they toss them? They,
yep.
Yeah.
I put them in good, I put them, like when I do have the school ballots, I put them in, recycling.
yep.
But
And
the
those are
federal
gone,
ones you have
so
to
the
keep for a
locals
long
are gone
time, which
already.
is,
So all we have here now is
Crazy.
the federal ballots. And you can't go in there and unseal them either.
no.
I didn't know if it was like the SanDisk cards that you stick in your
Yeah,
computer
that's
or
what I
not.
thought.
And I'm like, well, if it is, then we'll just pull it out and put another one in, I'll ask.
No.
I think it's a proprietary card,
Yeah.
Okay.
a secured proprietary card, so you can't have hacking and,
Well,
cause you wouldn't want somebody else to be able to
we don't
put
know if
a,
that happened or
How
not.
do you are?
you wouldn't want somebody else to be able to put a generic card into the
Right,
machine
right,
and
right.
it work.
And the
Right.
thing of it is, you have to balance, they send you so many ballots, and you have to balance how many voted, how many you have left, and how, so I mean, what is their question?
I just
How
know
do you
there's some,
verify that the count is accurate?
cause one of the things that
The
my
losers are
understanding is.
crying is what's going on.
Exactly, so my understanding is like in Wyndham, there's a huge issue that happened down there where the numbers, when they actually
Right,
reconciled
that,
and
I
counted, they
read
didn't
that in the
match,
paper
they
too.
didn't match up. They
Right,
were off by
well,
like 500 or something odd
Well,
votes.
500 Wyndham?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was big.
It was a huge off. They originally thought it was like 9 and it turned out to be 500.
That's,
So our-
unfortunately, that would
when
have
we-
to be the town clerk and the moderator.
When we did our
Yeah.
votes, when we did our ballots, we reconciled all that before we ever sealed everything up.
That's
No, we didn't individually count them, and that's what they ended up doing. They did a hand
No,
count.
we did, because we took the tape.
Yeah.
With the number of ballots. that
No,
we had.
what they did is they counted and they said, all right, we're gonna do a hand count for each one. We have all these ballots that were turned in, and they went through and they made sure what everyone had to count for, and it didn't match up with what the computer spit out. So the vote count was off. The computer counted them
The
wrong.
ballot count was right.
Yeah, the
how many
ballot-
people voted was right, but then when they actually went through, and the reason is it was contested, but, there was 4 seats contested down there.
Okay,
And one of them was off by like 500 votes. That's huge.
But see, you have to do, I don't understand how that happened, because you have to, before the election, you have to go over and test that to see that it works. So either somebody put the ballots in wrong or something in the machine or something.
Well, that,
Or they weren't
the reason,
watching
my
that they were
understanding is
counting.
that there's a group that's going around, probably like the right to know stuff. And what they're doing is they sent something up to the Attorney General's office, because eventually it's gonna affect everybody. And so my thought was, when they reached out to me, was, I'll check to see what we have about these little memory cards, because I'm thinking a memory card like on my camera. Pull the thing out, woo, I'll hold it to the side, we'll put it in Karen's desk.
in fact, earlier tonight, Daphne was talking to Bill and I, that she tests the machine, and this person could be invited to witness the testing
Okay.
and see how it goes.
Right,
Yeah, because they're a citizen.
so you're supposed to have somebody watch.
So why don't you make that recommendation to that person?
I will reach out to
Okay.
that person.
Let's go, Chairman.
And there was a Zoom question, Letty, I don't know if you heard, but yes, the federal ballots are kept for 22 months. But they
I'm
can
not sure if
only
it's
be
22,
recounted
it's a
by
long
direction
time.
of the Secretary of State.
It's a
You
long
can't just
time.
go in there and unseal the ballots.
I have nothing
There
else.
was a letter in the mail from a resident of
Oh, I saw that,
Yeah.
Greenleaf.
Greenleaf Circle
yep.
about the amount of sand being deposited in their circle during snowstorms. Wayne's gonna go take a look.
Thought he already did.
Well, he is, but he's also gonna recommend to the driver to not put sand down every time he drives around the circle.
Oh, good.
Right,
All right.
right. Yeah, I thought that was a good response.
Yep.
What's in there, okay?
Okay.
Kip came back for a reason.
He's found,
Fire.
he's found some teeth.
We also, need to acknowledge in the mail was a resignation from a full-time firefighter.
Yeah.
Jeremy Potter. We wish him luck in his new endeavors.
Absolutely. He worked very well for us.
Kip.
See him go.
Kip.
Phil, go for it, Kip.
Okay, very brief. In the zoning, section 900-002-002-009, we adopted the state building code, which is the ICC, IBC, as well as a bunch of other codes. IBC code in section 3, certificate of occupancy, says that it's mandated that inspections are performed on any and all buildings, and also, in general, if there's a change of use, that also affects occupancy and has to be redone. So I think it falls into line.
I think that's our authority to move
I'll
forward.
make copies of this for you, but I think we got it.
I think so. So you wanna make your motion?
I'll let them look at it.
Well, we still have to see if we can do if they don't do it within a year, if we can enforce that. And I think, so to me, it would be prudent to pause while we get clarification on that.
Well, the authority that we just heard does
Mhm.
not talk about people that are already into the system. It's
Right.
new.
Right. It is
And that's
new,
all this form was originally designed to do, is to capture all new businesses to ensure.
But it does capture everyone who has a 100-year-old building that changes what they're doing or changes the structure.
Change of
change,
use.
right.
Right.
Change of use.
And like I said earlier, we are working with at least 5 that I'm aware of that are totally in violation of the law. Amen.
Thank you for your time.
I think it's worthwhile to pause while we find out if we can do that. If we can add that second piece to it, like an ordinance, I think it's just worthwhile to pause on that.
Well, the only part of the ordinance would be the second piece, because
Right,
it's already a
right,
code
right.
for the first piece.
Right, so we just gotta see if we can do that, and we have to probably wait until after the election before we can do that, for us to impose that. Otherwise, we can vote for this, I guess. as is.
Well, that's what I'm saying, what we're talking about is new businesses coming into town, and the fee will pay for the electrician or any other specialties that we need to certify, like the fire code, for instance.
But what does the building inspector fees pay for? I mean, they have electrical fees, and I just think we have too many fees, but that's my opinion.
Okay,
It would just help, it would offset Kip's time when he's out there doing these inspections.
Building inspection fees are only for a new building. If a
Yeah,
new
but
business
there's an
goes
electrical,
in,
they pay for an electrical permit, there's,
only for a new building. If somebody, if,
The new building documents.
if somebody goes
plumbing, they
into,
pay for plumbing, electrician,
in a new building.
right.
So somebody goes into the plaza Nietzsche's in. Now, you need to know that there's a new business in that plaza.
a site plan, as you said, is for new businesses or resubmission of site plans because the business function has changed.
And we ran into this last year, remember we had the complaint about somebody was running that big
Oh,
turbine or something?
Yeah, that's,
And it was something that wasn't on our business, we didn't have the business plan, it wasn't aware they were doing that, but they started renting to somebody else that was doing a different type of business. And I just know from the recent claim I just had, he started doing something completely different, and there was an explosion, and a firefighter got hurt, so, to me, it's prudent to have a fee like that, so there's some type of oversight,
Right.
because people don't necessarily.
I think he's agreeing with me.
There's nothing on this form that says this is just for new businesses, okay, for number one.
Well, the form
Two,
cannot be
I-
issued unless
Well, no,
a site plan is submitted.
Number two, I think we wanna be able to revisit or to grandfather in people that are already in business. We want them to fill out this form, so they know
I
what they're doing.
really think you're doing too much thinking about this thing. The idea,
Well, we tabled it, so we're all doing too much thinking about this.
Yes.
I've done,
And I'm gonna make a motion that we go into non-public,
Now,
after you talk to.
Phyllis, do you have anything? Bob, besides your non-public?
But it's non-public, I'm good right now.
No.
If anybody on Zoom has something, raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Otherwise, we're gonna be going into non-public and not coming back to public session. Everybody remember the candidates night is being hosted tomorrow by Friends of the Library. If you don't have your Zoom link, go on their website or their Facebook page to get the Zoom link. Kim, I will unmute you.
So just a clarification question for you about the business thing. What about stay-at-home businesses such as like a Tupperware or leggings or those type? Would that have to get a permit as well? Say you're solely an online entity?
So that's why we tabled it, Kim, because we're really not sure about where we're going with this. But
I
if,
just wanted to clarify because I know there are many people who have online entities.
the original intent of the inspection form was for people submitting site plans. Nothing about home businesses where use
Okay.
was ever discussed.
Yeah, I just wanted to try and clarify for those out there watching and going, well, does that affect me? Thank you very much for the clarification.
you're welcome. Seeing no other hands,
I
going
make a
once,
motion, we go into
going
non-public.
twice.
In accordance with.
There's a motion to, hold on, Mary, the library wants a question.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to clarify on the candidates night, it's actually not sponsored by the library, it's hosted by Dick Chamberlain, and he's the one who put it all together. The library is simply the venue for this evening. But thank you for mentioning it, and we hope we get a lot of attendance.
Janice, this is Ken Christensen. I would like to come to the library tomorrow night.
We're actually doing this all by Zoom, but there is the ability to go to
Come here.
town hall. Karen is working on that aspect of it.
Okay,
So that there is a spot where you can meet in person if you don't have a computer, or you don't feel comfortable, or you just prefer not to.
yes, to all three.
Yes.
So the library is not open for this like they normally would be, or no?
No, the library is not open for this. It's all done by Zoom.
So,
I asked Keith if we could borrow his projector so that he could put it up here with his computer like we did for the budget presentation, so that folks that wanna view it can zoom in from here and view it together.
so whoever is hosting the host computer,
Coming here.
That will be at the library.
so if the host computer can record it and get me a flash drive, I can put it on, Vimeo, that way people can watch it after the fact if they didn't get to see it.
Right, yes, we will be recording it.
So, my long commute over to the library, I'll either drop you off a flash drive, or if you have a flash drive available, we can put it up on Vimeo.
Or we can take it from one of the voting machines.
Yeah, there's library, yeah. There's memory card.
Anything else?
No,
All right.
that was it. Does anybody have any other questions?
I don't think so.
Make a motion to go into non-public in accordance with chapter 91A, 311, A, B, C, D, E, and I
I'll second
for
that.
personnel.
Bill?
Aye. Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Sam and I. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I don't know my keys. I gave them to Kip for
Good
the
night,
packet.
Phyllis.
Don't
It'll be
say
all right.
anything, because we're still recording.
Good night, see you tomorrow.